we talked about the 4 pillars on this series, the 4 pillars of creating a successful creative business. Now, in video number 1, we talked about disciplines. It's the one thing creatives lack, is a lack of discipline. And then when all the creatives that I talked to, they said, man, I lack structure in my life. And I don't have the discipline, I don't have the structure, I'm not getting the outcomes that I want. Third, when I ask them, hey, do you have systems in place for everything that you're doing with your creativity and your business? And they go, no. I kind of do things based on inspiration. I kind of do things as things happen. And as they come to me, then I deal, and you feel like you're playing whack-a-mole and you're just like putting out fires all the time. As I said back in my own journey of 35 years of building my business and building my brand into multiple companies, multiple creative entities such as book publishing, course publishing, apparel, consumer products, down to art and art publishing and limited edition prints and posters and online publishing. All amazing stuff. But that's a lot of, it's like being an octopus. You have multiple arms and a portfolio style life, which I love, because if I just did one thing, I think I'd go nuts. I'm telling you this because most creatives feel that they're schizophrenic, that there's a lot of itches that they want to scratch, but they feel like they're just spread thin sometimes. Again, going back to lack of structure, lack of systems, and discipline. Where do I start? What do I do? So the first 3 pillars are massively important to adopt these new disciplines, these new structures, and these new systems to get the outcomes that you want. Now, what I found is also pretty telling when it comes to people that want to build a successful business. They're not building a launching pad to launch from. They typically, creatives are picking out their logos and their branding and picking out a great website, but they don't have this in place. What I call this is getting your house in order to get ready to serve. You want the big pricing and you want to be able to charge a lot for your clients. You want to be able to charge a lot for your artwork. You want to be able to have great sales, but you lack the 4 pillars of your launching pad. You couldn't even handle if I brought you 5,000 orders. You couldn't even handle if I brought you more like a big identity job or whatever, you name it. If I brought you a big mural job, you wouldn't have this in place. And when I mean systems, I'm talking down everything to the way that you do your contracts, the way that you negotiate your deals, the way that you onboard new clients, you name it. That is a lack of structure and a lack of discipline to carry this out. What happens when you start doing this? When you start planning your weeks, your months, your quarters, your annual forecast for your year, and you reverse engineer saying, how much do we want to make this year? How are we going to get there? What are we going to land? Which projects? How much do we charge? What's our rates? What's our tiers? What are profit margins? What are our costs? You really have to start taking all those things into consideration. But if you're not doing that, you're just managing chaos. So if you have this lack of structure, lack of discipline, lack of systems, you're not going to ever get to the results that you want. And maybe you're feeling that way right now. Maybe you feel like you're hitting the ceiling. Well, I've got some good news. We're going to talk about the last pillar, pillar number 4. Let's say you get your whole house in order, and this whole thing is ready to rock. You've got your disciplines down. You're carrying these things out based on the structure that you've comprised and the systems based on this structure. What's the 4th thing that creatives lack? It's the one thing I ask all the time. Meaning, these creatives have the best products in the world. The best creatives, meaning they do the best art, the best design. They've got the best services. But here's the greatest hurdle that I've seen with creatives. You ready for it? Here it is. It's unbelievable how big this is. Self-promotion. Self-promotion. What does that mean? When you are creating something that's from your heart, when you are creating, and it doesn't matter if it's creativity. It could be, I made a chair. Like most people think creativity has to do with a painting. I disagree. Creativity is anything that you dreamt up that was not even an original idea, but just you dreamt this idea up and you want to bring this thing into reality. You're being creative. Case in point, let's say you're a parent and you're coming up with a creative way to be able to get your kids to be able to get down for the night. You're thinking differently. You're thinking creatively. When you're creating products that you're putting your heart into based on things that you've dreamt up, there can be this wall of resistance of taking those things to market. We have a hard time being confrontational. We have a hard time going beyond our comfort zone of asking somebody for something, negotiating the deal. For example, most creatives are gun shy with providing pricing, and they typically will price themselves too low. And here's what I did back in the day, was I started saying, I'm going to value price, not do things on an hour, and I'm going to value price things on the finished result, not on how I got there, and not on how long it took. So I've never charged myself by the hour. But when I price my work and when I ask for those negotiations through self-promotion, I have to go beyond myself and stretch myself to what I call the factor of pucker factor. That means like you kind of pucker up because you're concerned that, oh, they could say no, or they think I'm going to be crazy, or they could be fallout. And if I don't win this job, I don't make money. If I don't make money, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. And if I don't pay my bills, we're living at my mother-in-law's house, for an example. This is the number one thing that no matter how much your house is in order in life and in business, no matter how much you've done here, these 4 pillars are essential. The discipline, the structure, and the systems. But self-promotion is like the one thing that takes the whole thing out. If you lack self-promotion, I don't care how much discipline and structure and systems you have, you're never going to go to market. You're going to have the greatest products in the world. But without these 4 pillars of creating a successful business, you will lack going to market without this self-promotion. So how do you get over this big boulder? Here's what I did. As I said before, we turned our company from a company into a cause by saying, what is the thing that breaks God's heart and puts a smile on his face in terms of a solution that we can use our company for? And for us, special needs children, especially special needs orphans that have been orphaned due to AIDS in South Africa. That became our company's mission. And in my book and in my devotional, I do talk about turning your company into a cause. When you are trying to solve something way greater than yourself, and when you see how you can have a lasting impact, something that just has eternal value in terms of the impact that you're making with these children, you'll get over yourself really, really quick. So self-promotion says the sooner I go to market, the more revenue that I make and the bigger that I ask, the sooner that I'm going to be able to invest in these kids, not give away, not spend, but invest in these kids and helping upgrade their life and helping rescue and care for them for the next 18 years. Self-promotion, you want to get over that fear? Pick something greater than yourself that requires you to stretch to it, to go fight for it, to die on a hill for it. My question is, are you using your company as a cause for anything greater than yourself? Why? You're going to get your house in order. You're going to become disciplined and structured and use systems to be able to go to market better and to price things better and to make more revenue through your creativity. But you got to get over this self-promotion. Listen, I know we've talked about these 4 pillars of creativity and how to use these 4 pillars to make a successful business from your creativity. But it happens by design. And maybe you don't have a mentor. Maybe you don't have anybody that's in your corner helping you navigate through these issues. This 31 Disciplines of Highly Successful Creatives is my book that I created, which is a daily devotional. And each day, you can dive down into this and you can actually watch it via a course that I created to give you videos per day for 31 days that you can implement this on the daily. So what does that mean? I'm going to help you with things such as managing your expectations, overcoming fear is essential for your growth, chasing your impact, not just income, not waiting for inspiration to go ahead and create and launch. What is your greatest asset? How to tell your story? What disciplines for the morning? And are you an early riser? What does that mean? And what are the dividends that can pay financially and your productivity? We're going to talk about everything: family, finances. Listen, you might not have anybody that you're running through that are getting the results that you want, when it comes to creativity and business and commingling those together. Creativity and commerce can mix. And I'm here to help you with that. So I hope that you've enjoyed the 4 pillars of creating a successful business. But these are essentials, and these are the biggest obstacles that I've seen common in all creatives. They lack the discipline, don't have the structure, don't know how to build systems, and they can't self-promote. These are the essentials. I hope this helps. Click the link down below. We're going to get started, and I'd love to have you on this journey with me. I'm in your corner. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Leave a comment down below.